In the grand pursuit of life, we often find ourselves caught in a relentless chase. But what are we truly running after? Are we sprinting towards an unattainable ideal of perfection? Or are we striving for something far more valuable? Progress. Progress. It's a word that carries immense weight, a concept that propels us forward in ways we might not fully comprehend. Yet, how many of us have truly harnessed its potential to transform our lives? Let's peel back the layers of this concept and explore why chasing progress rather than perfection is the key to unlocking our full potential and achieving lasting success. At its core, the idea of chasing progress is about embracing a growth mindset. It's about understanding that our abilities, intelligence, and talents are not fixed traits, but rather qualities that can be developed and improved over time. When we chase progress, we acknowledge that we are works in progress, constantly evolving and growing. This mindset shift has profound implications for how we approach challenges, setbacks, and even success itself. When we are focused on progress, we see challenges not as threats to our abilities, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Setbacks become valuable feedback rather than personal failures and success. It becomes a stepping stone rather than a final destination. In a world that's rapidly changing, where industries are being disrupted and new skills are constantly in demand, the ability to adapt and grow is more crucial than ever. Those who chase perfection often find themselves paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes or appearing less than expert. They might hesitate to take on new challenges or explore unfamiliar territories. On the other hand, those who chase progress are more likely to embrace new challenges. They understand that the path to mastery involves a learning curve, and they are willing to navigate that curve. They are not afraid to be beginners because they know that beginner status is temporary. It's a necessary step on the path to expertise. This approach does not just make you more adaptable, it also makes you more valuable in the workplace. Employers are increasingly recognizing the importance of employees who can learn, adapt, and grow. In fact, many companies now prioritize hiring for potential and learning agility over specific skills or experience. But the benefits of chasing progress extend far beyond the professional realm. In our personal lives, this mindset can lead to greater fulfillment and happiness. When we are not bound by the need to be perfect, we open ourselves up to new experiences. We are more likely to try new things, to step out of our comfort zones, to embrace the messy, imperfect process of growth. This can have a profound impact on our relationships. When we chase progress, rather than perfection in our interactions with others, we become more empathetic, more understanding. We recognize that just as we are works in progress, so too are those around us. This fosters deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. Chasing progress rather than perfection can significantly impact our mental health and overall well-being. Perfectionism is often linked to increased stress, anxiety, and even depression. The constant pressure to meet impossibly high standards can be exhausting and demoralizing. It can lead to procrastination, as we put off tasks until we feel we can do them perfectly, or to burnout as we push ourselves relentlessly towards an unattainable ideal. In contrast, focusing on progress allows us to celebrate small wins along the way. It enables us to recognize and appreciate our efforts, even when the results aren't perfect. This does not mean lowering our standards or accepting mediocrity. Rather, it means setting high but achievable goals, and then working consistently towards them, acknowledging each step forward. This approach is particularly powerful when it comes to developing new habits or making significant life changes. Too often, we set ourselves up for failure by expecting immediate, perfect results. We decide to get in shape. And if we don't see dramatic changes after a week of exercise, we give up. We try to adopt a new productivity system. And when we don't stick to it perfectly from day one, we abandon it. But real, lasting change does not happen overnight. It's the result of consistent, imperfect action over time. When we chase progress, we understand this. We are able to stick with our efforts, even when they are not yielding immediate, perfect results. We learn to trust the process, to have faith in the compound effect of small, consistent actions. In education and skill development, the progress-oriented approach is invaluable. Traditional education systems often emphasize perfect test scores and flawless performances. But in reality, learning is a messy a non-linear process. When we chase progress in our learning, we become more comfortable with making mistakes. We understand that errors are not failures, but opportunities to deepen our understanding. This approach also encourages a love of learning for its own sake, rather than for the sake of achieving perfect grades or impressing others. When we are focused on our own progress, we are more likely to pursue knowledge out of genuine curiosity and interest. This intrinsic motivation is far more powerful and sustainable than the external motivation of chasing perfect results. In the realm of creativity and innovation, chasing progress rather than perfection is absolutely crucial. Creative work, by its very nature, involves risk-taking, experimentation, and often failure. If we are bound by the need for perfection, we stifle our creativity. We become afraid to take risks, to try new approaches, to push boundaries. But when we chase progress, we give ourselves permission to create imperfect first drafts, to experiment with wild ideas, to make mistakes and learn from them. We understand that creativity is a process and that our skills and ideas evolve over time. This mindset fosters innovation and breakthrough thinking. In the world of entrepreneurship and business, the principle of chasing progress has often encapsulated the idea of failing forward. Successful entrepreneurs understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a necessary step on the path to success. They launch products that aren't perfect, gather feedback, and improve iteratively. They are willing to pivot when necessary, to learn from setbacks, and to keep moving forward. This approach is particularly relevant in today's fast-paced business environment. Markets change quickly, consumer preferences evolve, and new technologies emerge. Companies that chase perfection, that spend years developing a product in secret before launching it, often find that the market has moved on by the time they are ready. Those that chase progress, that launch minimum viable products, gather user feedback, and improve continuously, are more likely to succeed. In our personal development and self-improvement efforts, chasing progress rather than perfection can lead to more sustainable, meaningful change. Too often we set ourselves up for failure with all or nothing thinking. We decide to completely overhaul our lives overnight to become perfect versions of ourselves in one fell swoop. But lasting personal change does not work that way. It's about making small, consistent improvements over time. It's about progressively aligning our actions with our values and goals. When we chase progress in our personal development, we learn to celebrate small wins. We become more patient with ourselves, understanding that meaningful change takes time. This approach also allows us to be more authentic in our self-improvement efforts. Instead of trying to conform to some external ideal of perfection, we focus on becoming better versions of ourselves. We work on developing our unique strengths and addressing our individual challenges, rather than trying to fit into a one-size-fits-all mold of perfection. In our health and fitness journeys, the principle of chasing progress is particularly powerful. Too many people give up on their health goals because they don't see perfect results immediately. They expect to transform their bodies overnight, and when that does not happen, they become discouraged. But those who chase progress understand that health is a lifelong journey. They focus on consistently making better choices, on gradually increasing their strength and endurance, on slowly developing healthier habits. They celebrate each workout completed, each healthy meal chosen, each small improvement in their fitness levels. Over time, these small steps forward compound into significant results. In our financial lives, chasing progress rather than perfection can lead to greater long-term success. Many people put off investing or saving because they feel they can't do it perfectly. They wait until they have a large sum to invest or until they can save a significant portion of their income. But those who chase progress understand the power of starting small and being consistent. They begin investing with whatever they can afford, even if it's just a small amount each month. They focus on gradually increasing their savings rate over time. They understand that financial success is not about making perfect decisions, but about consistently making good decisions over a long period. Chasing progress allows us to embrace the journey itself rather than fixating on some idealized end state. It encourages us to be present in each moment, to find meaning in our daily efforts to grow and improve. It helps us understand that enlightenment or self-actualization is not a destination we reach, but a path we walk every day. Even in our hobbies and leisure activities, adopting a progress-oriented mindset can enhance our enjoyment and satisfaction. Whether we are learning to play an instrument, improving our golf game, or honing our cooking skills, focusing on our progress allows us to derive more pleasure from the process. We are able to enjoy our activities for their own sake, rather than being overly focused on achieving some perfect end result. Some might worry that this approach means settling for less, that it's about lowering our standards or accepting mediocrity. Nothing could be further from the truth. Chasing progress is not about lowering the bar. It's about changing how we approach the bar. It's about understanding that reaching high standards is a process, not an overnight achievement. It's about setting ambitious goals and then focusing on the consistent efforts that will eventually lead us to those goals. In fact, those who chase progress often end up achieving more than those who chase perfection. Why? Because they are not paralyzed by the fear of imperfection. They take action, learn from the results, and keep moving forward. Over time, this consistent progress often leads to extraordinary results. Chasing progress allows us to set more ambitious goals. When we are not afraid of initial imperfection, we are more likely to take on big challenges, to dream big, to push our limits. We understand that we don't need to be perfect from the start. We just need to be willing to learn, grow, and improve. Let's take a moment to consider a real-world example that illustrates the power of chasing progress over perfection. Consider the story of James Dyson, the inventor of the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Dyson didn't create the perfect vacuum on his first try. In fact, he created 5,126 failed prototypes before finally developing a successful version. Imagine if Dyson had been chasing perfection. He might have given up after the first few failures, discouraged by his inability to create the perfect vacuum right away. But Dyson was chasing progress. He saw each failed prototype not as a defeat, but as a step forward. Each failure taught him something new, brought him closer to his goal. Dyson's story is a powerful reminder that innovation and success are rarely about getting it right the first time. They are about persistence, about learning from failures, about making incremental improvements. They are about chasing progress. This principle applies not just to invention, innovation, but to all areas of life. Whether we are developing a new skill, building a business, improving a relationship, or working on personal growth, the key is to focus on making consistent progress, not on achieving instant perfection. When we chase progress, we develop resilience. We learn to bounce back from setbacks, to persist in the face of challenges. We develop a growth mindset that serves us well in all areas of life. We become more adaptable, more innovative, more capable of navigating the complexities of our rapidly changing world. Chasing progress allows us to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. When we're overly focused on achieving some perfect end state, we miss out on the richness of the process. We fail to appreciate the learning, growth, and small victories that occur along the way. We learn to find joy in our daily efforts. We develop a sense of accomplishment, not just from achieving our ultimate goals, but from the small steps we take each day towards those goals. This leads to a more fulfilling, satisfying life experience. It's also worth noting that chasing progress, rather than perfection, can lead to greater innovation and creativity. When we are not bound by the need to get everything right the first time, we are more willing to experiment, to try new approaches, to think outside the box. This mindset is crucial in today's rapidly evolving world, where the ability to innovate and adapt is more valuable than ever. Furthermore, chasing progress fosters a mindset of continuous improvement. Instead of resting on our laurels once we have achieved a certain level of success, we are always looking for ways to get better, to learn more, to push our boundaries. This leads to ongoing growth and development throughout our lives. This approach also allows us to be more present and engaged in our daily lives. Instead of always looking ahead to some idealized future state, we learn to appreciate where we are right now, even as we work towards where we want to be. We find satisfaction in our efforts, in our small daily victories, in the process of becoming. Chasing progress also helps us develop patience and perseverance. We understand that meaningful change and significant achievements take time. We learn to trust the process, to have faith in the compound effect of consistent effort over time. This patience and perseverance serve us well in all areas of life, from our careers to our relationships to our personal development. When we chase progress rather than perfection, we become more compassionate, both towards ourselves and others. We understand that everyone is on their own journey of growth and development. We become more forgiving of mistakes, our own and those of others. We learn to appreciate effort and improvement, not just flawless results. This compassion and understanding can greatly enhance our relationships. When we are not expecting perfection from others, we are able to appreciate them for who they are, while also encouraging their growth and development. We become better leaders, better team members, better friends and partners. In our professional lives, chasing progress rather than perfection can lead to greater innovation and problem-solving ability. When we are not afraid of initial failure or imperfection, we are more willing to tackle complex problems, to propose novel solutions, to think creatively. We understand that the first solution might not be perfect, but it's a starting point from which we can iterate and improve. This mindset is particularly valuable in today's rapidly changing business environment. Companies that chase perfection often find themselves left behind, while those that focus on progress, on rapid iteration, on continuous improvement, are better able to adapt to changing market conditions and emerging technologies. Chasing progress allows us to set more meaningful, authentic goals. Instead of trying to conform to some external standard of perfection, we focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves. We work on developing our unique strengths, on aligning our actions with our values, on growing in the ways that are most meaningful to us personally. This approach leads to more sustainable, fulfilling personal growth. Instead of trying to overhaul our entire lives overnight, we focus on making small, consistent improvements. We understand that lasting change is about progressively aligning our habits and behaviors with our goals and values. Chasing progress rather than perfection can lead to more sustainable, enjoyable results. Instead of following extreme diets or punishing exercise regimens in pursuit of some perfect body ideal, we focus on gradually developing healthier habits. We celebrate each workout completed, each nutritious meal chosen, each small improvement in our fitness levels. This approach not only leads to better long-term results, but it also fosters a healthier relationship with our bodies and with the process of taking care of our health. We learn to enjoy movement for its own sake, to appreciate our bodies for what they can do, rather than just how they look. In our creative endeavors, chasing progress frees us from the paralysis of perfectionism. We give ourselves permission to create bad first drafts, to experiment with new techniques, to make mistakes and learn from them. We understand that creativity is a muscle that grows stronger with use, and that even our failures contribute to our growth as artists. This mindset fosters greater creative output and more innovative thinking. It allows us to take risks, to push boundaries, to develop our unique creative voice. Over time, this consistent practice and willingness to embrace imperfection often leads to remarkable creative achievements. In our financial lives, chasing progress encourages us to start where we are with what we have. Instead of waiting until we have a large sum to invest or can save a significant portion of our income, we begin with small steps. We focus on gradually increasing our savings rate, on consistently making wise financial decisions, on steadily improving our financial knowledge and habits. This approach recognizes that financial success is not about making perfect decisions, but about consistently making good decisions over a long period. It's about progress, not perfection. In our spiritual or philosophical journeys, chasing progress allows us to embrace the journey itself rather than fixating on some idealized end state. We understand that wisdom and enlightenment are not destinations we reach, but paths we walk every day. We find meaning and satisfaction in our daily efforts to grow, to understand, to become more aware and compassionate. Even in our hobbies and leisure activities, adopting a progress-oriented mindset can enhance our enjoyment and satisfaction. Whether we are learning to play an instrument, improving our photography skills, or working on our golf game, focusing on our progress allows us to derive more pleasure from the process. We are able to enjoy our activities for their own sake, rather than being overly focused on achieving some perfect end result. It's important to note that chasing progress does not mean we never strive for excellence or high standards. On the contrary, it often allows us to achieve higher standards in the long run. The difference is in how we approach those standards. Instead of expecting immediate perfection, we focus on consistent improvement, we set ambitious goals, and then concentrate on the daily actions that will eventually lead us to those goals. This approach allows us to maintain motivation and momentum even when faced with challenges or setbacks. We understand that each small step forward brings us closer to our ultimate objectives. By focusing on progress, we cultivated a mindset of continuous improvement. This mindset extends beyond specific goals or projects. It becomes a way of life. We are always looking for ways to learn, grow, and enhance our skills and knowledge. This ongoing commitment to progress keeps us engaged and excited about life, fostering a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Chasing progress helps us develop a more balanced perspective on success and failure. We come to see that these are not binary states, but points on a continuum of growth. What might initially appear as a failure can often be a valuable learning experience that propels us forward. Conversely, we learn not to rest on our laurels after achieving success, but to keep pushing ourselves to new heights. This balanced perspective can be particularly valuable in our professional lives. In today's rapidly evolving job market, the ability to continuously learn and adapt is more crucial than ever. By chasing progress, we position ourselves as lifelong learners, always ready to take on new challenges and acquire new skills. This adaptability makes us more resilient in the face of change and more valuable in the workplace. In our personal relationships, the principle of chasing progress can lead to deeper, more fulfilling connections. When we apply this mindset to our interactions with others, we become more patient, understanding, and supportive. We recognize that, like us, others are on their own journey of growth and development. This perspective fosters empathy and compassion, strengthening our bonds with family, friends, and partners. Furthermore, by focusing on progress in our relationships, we are more likely to address issues constructively. Instead of expecting perfect harmony at all times, we work on gradually improving our communication, understanding, and mutual support. We celebrate small improvements in our relationships, recognizing that these incremental changes can lead to significant long-term growth. In the realm of personal health and wellness, chasing progress rather than perfection can lead to more sustainable, enjoyable results. This approach encourages us to focus on the process of becoming healthier rather than fixating on a specific end goal. We learn to appreciate the journey of improving our physical and mental well-being, finding satisfaction in each small step forward. This mindset shift can be particularly powerful when it comes to developing healthier habits. Instead of trying to overhaul our entire lifestyle overnight, we focus on making small, consistent improvements. Maybe we start by adding an extra serving of vegetables to our diet each day, or by meditating for 5 minutes every morning. Over time, these small changes compound, leading to significant improvements in our overall health and well-being. In our financial lives, chasing progress encourages a more strategic, long-term approach. Rather than seeking quick fixes or get-rich-quick schemes, we focus on consistently making wise financial decisions. We understand that building wealth and financial security is a gradual process, requiring patience and perseverance. This progress-oriented approach to finances can help us develop better money habits. We learn to celebrate small financial wins, like saving a little extra each month or making a smart investment decision. These positive reinforcements encourage us to stay committed to our financial goals, even when progress seems slow. When it comes to personal development and self-improvement, chasing progress allows us to set more realistic, achievable goals. Instead of trying to transform ourselves overnight, we focus on gradual, sustainable change. This approach recognizes that lasting personal growth is a lifelong journey, not a destination we suddenly arrive at. By focusing on progress in our personal development, we become more self-aware and reflective. We learn to regularly assess our growth, celebrating our achievements while also identifying areas for further improvement. This ongoing self-reflection helps us stay aligned with our values and aspirations, ensuring that our personal growth is meaningful and authentic. In our creative pursuits, whether professional or personal, chasing progress frees us from the paralysis of perfectionism. We give ourselves permission to create imperfect first drafts, to experiment with new ideas, to make mistakes and learn from them. This mindset fosters greater creativity and innovation as we are more willing to take risks and push boundaries. By focusing on progress in our creative work, we develop greater resilience in the face of criticism or setbacks. We understand that each piece of feedback, each failure, is an opportunity to improve our craft. This resilience allows us to persevere in our creative endeavors, even when faced with challenges or doubts. In the realm of education and skill development, chasing progress encourages a love of learning for its own sake. Instead of focusing solely on grades or certifications, we come to appreciate the process of acquiring knowledge and developing new abilities. This intrinsic motivation makes learning more enjoyable and sustainable, leading to deeper understanding and retention. This approach to learning helps us develop better study habits and learning strategies. We become more attuned to our own learning process, identifying what works best for us and continually refining our approach. This self-awareness makes us more efficient and effective learners, capable of mastering new skills and knowledge throughout our lives. When it comes to achieving our dreams and aspirations, chasing progress provides a roadmap for turning big visions into reality. We learn to break down our lofty goals into smaller, manageable steps. Each of these steps becomes a milestone on our journey, providing motivation and a sense of accomplishment along the way. This approach also helps us stay resilient in the face of obstacles. When we encounter setbacks or challenges, we don't see them as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities to learn and adjust our approach. We understand that the path to our goals may not be linear, but that each experience, positive or negative, contributes to our overall progress. Chasing progress allows for a more open, exploratory approach. We recognize that understanding ourselves and our place in the world is an ongoing process, not a destination we suddenly arrive at. This mindset encourages curiosity and wonder, keeping us engaged in our spiritual or philosophical explorations throughout our lives. By focusing on progress in our spiritual or philosophical growth, we become more tolerant and open-minded. We understand that our beliefs and perspectives may evolve over time as we gain new experiences and insights. This openness allows for richer, more meaningful spiritual or philosophical experiences. The principle of chasing progress rather than perfection is a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. It's an approach that recognizes the value of consistent effort, continuous learning, and resilience in the face of challenges. By focusing on progress, we free ourselves from the paralysis of perfectionism and open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. This mindset shift allows us to set ambitious goals while also appreciating the journey towards those goals. It encourages us to celebrate small wins, learn from setbacks, and maintain motivation even when faced with obstacles. By chasing progress, we develop greater resilience, adaptability, and creativity, qualities that are invaluable in all areas of life. This approach fosters a more balanced, fulfilling life experience. It encourages us to find joy in our daily efforts, to appreciate our growth over time, and to maintain a sense of curiosity and wonder about the world around us. It helps us build stronger relationships, achieve greater success in our careers, and lead healthier, more satisfying lives. Let's embrace the power of progress. Let's set ambitious goals, but focus on the small, consistent actions that will lead us to those goals. Let's celebrate our victories, learn from our setbacks, and keep moving forward. Let's remember that true success is not about achieving perfection, but about continuous growth and improvement. In a world that often demands instant results and flawless performance, choosing to chase progress is a radical act. It's a declaration that we value growth over perfection, that we are committed to lifelong learning and development. It's an acknowledgement that the journey is just as important as the destination. In your personal life, your career, your relationships, and your pursuits, chase progress, not perfection. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your small wins, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being better today than you were yesterday and striving to be even better tomorrow. Your journey of progress starts now with your very next action. Embrace it and watch as you unlock your full potential and achieve things you never thought possible. The path of progress may not always be easy, but it is infinitely rewarding. So take that first step and then the next and the next. Your future self will thank you for the progress you make today.